Hi guys, so it's been a little crazy here on the farm. Over the past week, we've gone from, I guess it's a week and a half, from 70-degree temperatures to snow. So it's getting really cold down here, up here in Northern Idaho. And I haven't checked on the bees. We've just been trying to plan for winterization, trying to get a barn up here on the Cause We Can farms. We've just been super busy and I have not had a chance to put out any more content. If you noticed, there wasn't a video last week. I'm gonna go check on the bees and then I'm gonna get to winterizing them. I did get into the hive a few weeks ago, as I showed you guys on the video, and things looked pretty good. There was lots of honey stores, but today I'm solely just focusing on closing the beehive up as far as winterizing it and putting an outer protection on to keep them safe from the snow and from the elements. So the main things with bees that cause problems for them during the winter is either not enough honey or condensation in the hive. And one of the ways to prevent that, I have learned through a beekeeping course that I went through, and I'm going to show you that today, so stay tuned. So as I walked up to the hive, I had a little bit of a panic. So there's a bunch of bees outside the entrance to the hive here. And as you look down here, you can see that the struggles, as there's a whole bunch of dead ones out there. I suspect that, well, honestly, I don't know what to suspect. I have no idea what's going on there. They could be the drones, although looking at them, they don't seem like they're quite a bit bigger than the other bees. I did just kind of tap on the side of the beehive just to make sure I can hear movement in there before I go through this process. And there is bees buzzing. Thank the Lord. So I haven't killed the bees. I was really worried that I had. As I said, the temps have kind of quickly gone from super kind of warmish to super cold really fast. And I should have gotten this done sooner and I did not. So that's something that I am going to learn in the future to prioritize this earlier in the fall than early November. So as I was cleaning the bees, the dead bees away from the entrance here, as you see, there are some live bees coming out. It's pretty darn cold for them, so I don't want to mess with them. So the bees are still fine. Let's get to getting something put together and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna use. I find it absolutely fitting that when I got the bees, an unexpected snowstorm happened, and here I am putting the bees to bed and an unexpected snowstorm is starting to happen. So this obviously is not ideal. This next part, I want to explain it just a tiny bit because I don't want to keep the box open for very long. So basically what I'm going to do is we're going to take the top off. We're going to put an empty frame on the top here. Inside the empty frame, I'm putting a, it's kind of like, they call it a pillowcase. So you take a burlap sack or pillowcase or something, and ideally you fill it full of natural fibers like lamb's wool, sheep wool, alpaca fibers, newspaper, anything to keep the moisture off the bees. So I'm going to be putting a burlap sack inside this box. I'm going to be layering newspapers in there and putting another burlap sack on top. And this is going to be their pillowcase that's going to go over the top of the hive. They are not going to have a lid. They are not going to have a top board. This is directly over the hive, and that just keeps any moisture off of the bees. So as the winter rolls on, the bees are starting down here in the bottom, and they will work their way up through the hive, through the honey stores. And so by spring, they should be here in the top, and that's where all the heat is going to be, is right up there in the top. This is all going to be insulated. The insulation is not going to come all the way down. They just need some airflow from the bottom. And even if snow were to get this high, which I don't expect that it can, even if snow were to get this high, the heat that the bees put off will keep that entrance free so that they get that airflow that's needed. So I'll get this done real quick and then we'll be done and the bees will be put to bed for the winter. So as you guys can see, it's clearly started snowing. And in a good country girl fashion, I'm working outside of the truck to build these hot boxes for the bees. Of course, having snow on everything while I'm doing this makes it super easy. All right, as you guys can see, I got the outside of the box put together. So for this particular type of hot box, it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to use any special equipment. As you can see, I use duct tape. And the main thing is, once you've got this all done, then you wrap it up. So you can either wrap it with cellophane wrap, or you can wrap it with house wrap, or you can wrap it with a tarp. Whatever you can do to keep the wind and any leaks off of it, that's what you need to do. So on the top, you want to make sure you put 2 layers of this pink foam insulation. So I'm just gonna tack that down and then we'll get it wrapped up and then it's done and ready for the bees. You want to always leave a little bit of room in the bottom of the hive for ventilation. I will go back and put a mouse guard on there with some sort of mesh wire just to keep the mice out of the beehive throughout the winter. But this is it, easy hot hive in a nutshell. So I'll continue to get this finished and we'll get it on the hive. So for this part of the project, I had a friend that had some extra cellophane wrap laying around that she uses on occasion. And so basically, since I do not have house wrap, I'm using all stuff that I have on the farm here on the homestead. So we're going to use this to do the final wrap of this, and this will help seal out any wind, any rain, any moisture, anything that could make this duct tape come undone, because I did not use the fancy, more expensive duct tape. As I said, I just use what we have here on the farm. All right, so as you can see, it's just coming down. The weather has turned pretty bad, so I'll have to show you the final cover for the bees for their winterization a little bit later. I don't want to open the hive when it's this cold outside. It would just be detrimental to the bees. So we are supposed to have some warmer temperatures later on this week, so we'll come back to that and I'll show you how that turned out. Thank you guys so much. I so greatly appreciate you coming and watching and being part of my journey. And you guys mean more to me than you'll ever realize. You guys stay blessed. Have a great week. Bye. That's gonna have to go in the blooper reel because that wasn't supposed to happen.
If I wrote you a song, if I got every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper, would it make any difference? Would it change for the better? If I wrote you a poem, if I posted a